Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of George Reviews, and this episode we'll be discussing Crimes of the Future, the new David Cronenberg joint. And what a joint and a trip it was, at least for me, and it was a very interesting and thought-provoking and somewhat bewildering film, but more on that later. Sexy, surgical, performance art, organs, bloody, outrageous, mind-boggling, intriguing. Those are some words I would describe Crimes of the Future in lieu of giving it a more proper synopsis, because I really can't put my finger on the pulse of a synopsis when it comes to this film. It was very interesting and thought-provoking, as I said, and it was stylistically amazing. It was quite a unique experience, one that I have not found in a while, at least cinematically, and this is definitely a fun ride to go into a movie theater and see this. All in all, there's a lot of it I can't really put my finger on. And much like Crash, which I absolutely adored, with this film I found it a little harder to grapple onto something of a plot or a narrative, but as I said, it was more of an experience, and it's definitely more of a conceptual film. In some undisclosed, uncertain future, humanity has more of a high pain tolerance, and surgery is the new sex. And so these couple of performance artists, played brilliantly by Viggo, Mortensen, and Seydoux, go around and do this performance art surgery sort of thing for the public, and they are very successful in doing so, and everyone is very mesmerized, and it's a very mesmerizing piece of work. It's definitely a work of art, I would say, and that is as much as I can really put a handle on describing this film, because the rest is kind of more up in the air. Perhaps it went over my head a little too much. I'm very new to David Cronenberg's style, and so with this film I wasn't really sure what to expect. I heard the hype of it, I heard a lot of really extreme things about it, but all in all it was really hard, as I said, to put my finger on the pulse, to really understand what makes this film sensible in terms of what it was going for. I cannot really find, not to say it was completely hollow of that. I believe there is something within this film that's very interesting. I just can't really put my finger on it, as I said, and I was really kind of coming up and struggling to find the words, find the ways to describe this film in a way where I could give an emotional experience in words, which is what I like to do with this channel and these reviews, is kind of go about my emotional experience. I was more confused than able to paint a picture of what this film kind of meant. There's a lot of things going for it, I feel, and emotionally I feel like there's something here that's something very interesting and thought-provoking, but I just cannot seem to find the right words or right meanings, and I haven't really dived deeper into rabbit holes of what this film means. I don't want it explained to me. I like to come to terms with it myself in certain different ways, and for this, for my initial viewing, I just couldn't really find much to hold on to with this film, unfortunately. But that's not to say that it's not a marvelous piece of cinema, because it is. David Cronenberg has created something really unique and something that I've never seen before, which is one of the highest compliments I can give to any filmmaker in any film, and he definitely delivered in that aspect. It is such a technical marvel between the great performances, the lighting design, the color schemes, the effects, though seemingly practical. I'm sure there's some CGI thrown in there. He just creates a very unique world that you won't find in your generic sci-fi or big blockbuster type film. This is definitely very unique of what he's doing, and using the concept of surgery as the new sex, and these people with high pain tolerances, you know, kind of disforming their bodies and manipulating their bodies to do different things. There's a dance sequence of a guy with ears all over him, and it's one of the most fascinating things I've ever seen. And so in that respect, I think this is a very, very interesting and unique film. Though I can't help but feel that the film could have gone a lot more weirder. It is kind of leveled and grounded by a lot of great intimate performances. Like I said, Viggo Mortensen, Seydoux, and even Kristen Stewart, who I'm not the biggest fan of. I find her to be a little mousy for the most part. She actually did, she was really interesting in this film. And the first act or the opening of this film really grabbed me, and it really, you know, shook me, and I thought it was very disturbing in such a great, unique way, and I liked how the film ended. It was also disturbing in a very bittersweet type way. But there's just a lot in the middle that I cannot hold on to and kind of get a feel for. Like I said, there are a lot of intimate conversational pieces in the middle, and it's all very interesting, talking about interesting concepts and ideas, and I'm sure it's very over my head and maybe very much too intelligent for me, and I can be mature enough to admit that something doesn't work for me. It could be because of its intelligence, and when I go into a film, I definitely want to have that experience, and I felt like the film could have got a lot more grosser, a lot more weirder. There were things spoken about this film when it would premiere at the Cannes Film Festival, and I feel it was a little hyped up. It was a little maybe making it more disturbing than it actually was. So I was kind of coming in wanting to be really disturbed and really just shooken out of my seat and really just disgusted, and I didn't really get that so much. There are definitely some really interesting, intense scenes, but I feel the intensity was pretty mild, at least for my taste. And that's not a dig on the film, you know. A film doesn't have to go over the top to be disturbing to be good, you know. It can be restrained. I feel this film is really more restrained. I just wanted it to be a little bit more weirder and more maybe out of control than it actually was. But that's not to say that there aren't some really intriguing and interesting things going on in here. There are, and I feel I would definitely highly recommend this film to anyone that wants a really weird and kind of gross and kind of different, unique experience out of a film, because this film definitely is unique in its experience that is delivering to its audience. I think David Cronenberg is a very interesting filmmaker. I just feel like I need to experience more of his work to maybe get a better understanding of this film. I feel with filmmakers and directors, you really need to see a lot of their work as they go further along in their career, when they go into more mature and different kind of more adult directions. I think it's good to kind of see their vast career, and Cronenberg has a lot of films. I feel if I got a better grasp on his filmography and kind of got to know him more as a filmmaker and his style and the way he tells the stories, I feel I could have a better appreciation for this film. But going in as kind of a newbie, it really didn't do much for me besides being such a technical marvel, and then very conflicting, kind of contradictory kind of feelings I have for this film. You know, on one hand, I enjoy the technical marvel of it. I enjoy what he's going for visually. On the other hand, the material wasn't really enough for me to get that invested with the characters. I really feel like I would need more of an understanding of the way he tells his stories to really get a good, better kind of feel, a better grip on what Crimes of the Future all means. But all in all, I would recommend it. Definitely an interesting experience at the end of the day. But I want to give Crimes of the Future 3 stars. Not high, not low, just, you know, it was good. I liked it, but it was really hard for me to comprehend a lot of the ideas and concepts that they were kind of discussing. And all in all, it is a concept film. But those are going to be my jumbled thoughts on Crimes of the Future. Now, what did you think of Crimes of the Future? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What do you think about it? Tell me down there in the comments. Please like and subscribe if you'd be so kind. I'd really like to hear from you. I'd really like to get your take on Crimes of the Future to maybe better understand it and maybe get me excited to see it again. So please don't be shy. Just rattle on in those comments down below. My name is George Ray. I want to appreciate you for checking this video out. Please remember to keep calm, keep cool, keep chill, embrace great cinema. I'll see you on the next video. Until then, peace out.